Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Following the M4 GA and all the drama that followed last night, Scump has responded to this and said that he's not happy at all. They made this decision so close to Major 1. He was just getting comfortable with the weapon, still having a great time, and now it's gone and he's got to completely change up the style. Doesn't believe the pros are doing a good job of making these decisions. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Plenty to dive into today. First of all, just a quick look back at week 1. The top players of the week, according to CDL Intel, I think this makes sense. The two teams that went 2-0, or, well, okay, 3 teams went 2-0, but Minnesota was an interesting 2-0, let's just say. Boston, London, obviously Asim is an absolute demon whenever he plays any of his former teammates, basically, and then Awakening was a monster for the Boston Breach as well. And yeah, look, we saw earlier today all this stuff. FaZe versus Los Angeles Thieves, Octane versus Slasher, differing opinions on whether the M4 should stay in, whether it should get banned. It's been an absolute mess. Now, Shotzzy believed for quite some time now that the M4 was going to get gone. And actually, we saw Octane, I think, say a few days ago that the M4 was going to get banned. But then I saw a clip here from Shotzzy that I'll share for you guys in a second, where he reckons the M4 is going to get banned much sooner. This is obviously before it did get banned, but quite interesting to hear him say that there were rumblings going around that the M4 was going to get banned even before Major 1, which it now has by the pros. So a gentleman's agreement where the pros decide between them to get it banned. Like, obviously an absolute mess. And even this from Kenny kind of doubling down on the FaZe versus Los Angeles Thieves beef, which is not going away anytime soon. But after this matchup, Shotzzy gave a kind of a Q&A really on stream about the match they played against Ford and also the previous one up against the Minnesota Rokkr. Two things to mention here. Firstly, his belief that the M4 was going to get banned, but also just a quick note on his potential spots that he's going to be bringing out, because he talks about the spot from Toronto Ultra and Insight up on top of the TV, and you know, the chat was asking him like, hey, did you know about that spot? And he was like, oh my god, like obviously I knew about that spot. And he says wait till Major 1, probably implying there's a fair few more spots that Shotzy's got up his sleeve that we're going to see get brought out once, you know, push comes to shove for the real money in the championship when it gets down to Major 1. So definitely stay tuned for anything in Search and Destroy at Major 1. Shotzy has got some ideas up his sleeve.
Like, put it like this, I'm not trolling when I say this, dude. Like, when I use it, bro, it just feels like, it feels like I'm playing the easiest game I've ever had in my life, bro. Or like the easiest game of my life. But that does not mean that like I don't want this M4 out. Like I want to know, bro. Like, yeah, and on top of that, chat, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like it's probably gonna be gone by the time Major 1 starts, whatever. I hope he's gonna get in the TV spot.
Yes, he is. Oh, it's a great wall mount.
Do I know about this spot? Yeah. Chat, you guys think, bro? Just wait till Major 1. I'm telling you right now, dude. Wait till Major 1, bro. Like, you think these spots are good, dude? You know.
So if you guys didn't watch the matches this past weekend, this was the particular spot here that Insight was using on the hotel map. So inside the kitchen, you can jump on top of this TV, and yeah, obviously a pretty good spot here, right? So yeah, pretty ideal. Is this an unintended line of sight? I don't know, but still, you can stand on top of the telly. So what's the problem with that? Theoretically, it's coded into the game, so what's the issue? Insight gets a nice 2BCA, gets traded out, but it was good enough for Toronto to go on to win this map. And yeah, Skies comes around the corner, unlucky mate, you are going down without well, too much difficulty to stop it. So pretty common spot. I imagine we're going to see more often than we have done in the past now, and well, clearly Shotzy's got some other ideas like this coming up soon as well. But Scump also was responding to the M4 ban. We're now going to see the Scar come into the meta, we imagine. A couple of clips to share for you guys here. Firstly, from Scump talking about it, saying that he's pretty frustrated that he was just getting comfortable with the M4, and that's the thing. Scump was looking so good on the AR. He can probably still run the AR on the Scar if he wants to, but maybe now with the Scar meta, we're going to see more 2-2, 2 ARs, 2 SMGs. That's kind of like what I'd like to see personally. I think 3 ARs is, you know, the meta isn't fun to watch at that point, to be honest. I'd much prefer it to be 2 Vaznevs and 2 ARs on most situations. Maybe Scump can still use the Scar at times, but yeah, I think understandably he's pretty frustrated. They played week 1 of the matches. They're getting ready for week 2 and getting ready for the major, especially because the OpTic guy is a bit under the weather right now. They might not be able to get 100% quality practice in, and now that the meta's going to change changed significantly. Scump, maybe who got really comfortable and was absolutely frying on the M4, is now going to have to go away from that weapon. And I don't think OpTic were opposed to the M4 getting banned. I just think that Scump's frustrated with how it's been banned, when it's been banned, and the fact that they haven't really just ridden this out until Major 1 to see how it's going to go. But the M4 is gone, and also Methodz' perspective on the fact that he actually reckons, and one of the reasons he wanted the M4 to stay, was that he reckons the Scar is actually even better.
So we have to figure out if the M4 is G8 or not. Are you tweaking?
Yes, it is G8. They G8 at mid-stage as if it's not my last year, as if it's not unadaptable.
How do you
I don't know what your answer was right there.
I'm
You're
losing.
tweaking.
I'm so shocked. Yeah, I actually found my rhythm too. They were like, yeah, I actually lost phone, bro.
You've been frying.
Yeah, I actually found my rhythm and then they just took it back away. Like,
Been on demon time.
like why are we allowing pro players to like use their own biases to create GAs? I don't understand.
That's crazy, right?
Like, teams are changing. Teams are changing their decisions. Like after the first, like what's going on here, bro? Like we got a major in a week. Like, all good.
Wait,
I'm not.
Did you just say a week?
Yeah, we have our major next weekend. I'm not worried at all, though.
No way.
I'm not worried at all.
That's next level, actually.
I just think it's a easier gun to use. I think setups like are less rewarded now because
it's much easier to take someone off a heady.
Exactly. Like for example, right? Let's use Embassy P2. Let's use Embassy P2 for example. Let's say my team puts you in a decent trap, or like we break the hill and we have a nice setup. That setup is now a lot harder to hold because the Scar beams people off head glitches.
If that's
my
the case,
opinion.
why weren't you using it when the M4 was in?
I wanted to. Hold on. I was the one using it at the very beginning when people first started using the M4.
I didn't see you use
and then
it
everybody.
this weekend.
I did not use it this weekend. No one used it this
But
weekend.
you
Wait,
said
you guys are
it's
making it
better.
seem like
Or
it's,
even
yeah,
this
you guys are making
weekend.
it seem like it's better to break with. So like, why wouldn't you pull it out to break the hill?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't understand.
And people were
Honestly, I probably could have. I don't have an actual good response for you. But honestly, like I guarantee you, if you want to
don't.
wait, hold on. We all agree that if you're on a head glitch, it's easier to kill you off with a Scar than an M4.
Yeah, we all say that it's
Okay.
easier to shoot, but
Okay, so
It's easier to shoot, but it's not as good as the M4 up close.
so we just did it.
So I will say Method's opinion is rather hard to justify, just because if the Scar actually was the superior weapon to the M4, then why would they not like have used the Scar? You know what I mean? Like, why did all we see over the past weekend and even in scrims before then, like it was only M4s? Okay, maybe some pros occasionally pull out the Scar in very specific circumstances, but all the pros use the M4, and they used the Scar before at the start of the game, then they used the M4. So clearly there's a reason they change, and I think the M4 is, to me, kind of clearly the better gun. Obviously the Scar can kill faster if you hit the high multipliers, if you hit the upper body. Obviously it shoots slower but does more damage, so it can kill very fast, but it is a more punishing weapon and probably not just an absolute do-it-all weapon, especially if they ban certain attachments like the M4 has been. So I don't necessarily disagree with the ban. I think that when you're seeing like 6 of an AR, even 8 of an AR sometimes on certain maps, that gun is probably too strong. Now the game is designed in such a way that obviously ARs are probably going to dominate in this type of game, and we saw not long ago that of course it got banned earlier on today. Now this whole process has been called into question though by Scump and also by others as to like how can we make this process better, because it's always a mess. Every year we get stuff like this, a few days every season of just complete chaos and drama over something getting banned. The other pros want it in, some pros want it gone. The league never really gets involved in this stuff. They say, you know what, decide it amongst yourselves. But if you're going to ban the SAE but it's not actually banned in the official rule set, then you know, if someone gets a glitch, unlucky, that's a replay, because it's not gentleman's agreemented in the mind of the CDL. So that's why maybe the league should get involved. Now back in the day the pros had a different perspective as well, because nowadays you need 9 out of 12 teams to get something changed. We talked about the controversies of that even earlier today, but apparently back in the Black Ops 4 days, 2019ish, like they were actually like they all had to agree to something. So they've kind of changed their mind over time here between what it used to be and what it is at the present day. And obviously Ben Nassim commenting on this as well, because he said plenty of times that this GA process is stupid, needs to get changed until real-time edits to the rules that are commonplace and occurring someplace other than a Twitter DM. So Sasha comes out and says, you know, what do you want to do? There's no better way to do it. Every suggestion is worse. I'm yet to hear a single better one. It's only become a problem as of late because now there's actual bias. You should vote for the better game, but people do not. So, you know, maybe Sasha's right that if players and teams didn't only speak from their own personal biases and actually could speak from what they thought would make the game better, then the current direction isn't too bad. But there are probably better ways to do it. Of course, people have proposed that you let the coaches do it, but, you know, the issue there is that they have the same biases as the players do on their team, so that doesn't really work. The optimal solution is to kind of take it out of the pros' hands. The pros can vote and give their arguments and give their thoughts on whether something should be allowed or whether something should be gone, but there needs to be some sort of independent committee of maybe a few former pro players or something that, you know, the questions are asked to, and then they make the call if they're unanimous in their agreement on it, because, you know, I imagine that's probably a better way to do it, and it keeps the pros just, because the pros were trying to strong up other pros, right? We saw that the smokes were going to get banned, or they were going to stay, but then some teams said, you know what, if you keep smokes, we're going to start using the thermal sights and just abuse the hell out of it, because that's not banned in the rule set, but it's kind of between the pros. They think, yeah, let's not use the thermals. It's a bit too overpowered and a bit cheesy, as I'm sure what they would say, but some pros were trying to strong arm the other pros into getting them banned by threatening to use the thermals. Like, if you have some sort of committee, that wouldn't really be an issue, because those threats wouldn't really carry any weight to get someone to change their minds. But yeah, that's just one proposal. Now, apparently there are being some changes made. Sasha goes on to say here to Zuma and Benja and Nassim, seeing as I run the league again, I may want to make an appearance to talk about some changes I am enacting. So it seems like the Slasher World League is officially back in business, because he used to run the GAs back in the day effectively. It wasn't just him, but he was heavily involved in those discussions. The last couple of years he stepped away a little bit, but you know, when the scene needed him most, the hero returns, and he's gonna run the scene again apparently, and also talk about some changes he's enacting to the way they're gonna do this. I mean, look, if Sasha can get the M4 banned without even being in the representative chat, then I'm sure he can make some changes to the way the process is done. What changes would they be? Like, you know, obviously Ben says doing a show tonight, so we'll see if anything comes up along those lines. But yeah, what do you guys think about this on the whole? Obviously everything's gone. Scump is not happy about it. You can understand why. It's only 10 days until Major 1, only a couple of days away from the second weekend of qualifiers, and it's not like they've got 2 weeks of qualifiers now, because a regular Major has 3 weekends of qualifiers and then the Major, whereas this time, because it's a shortened cycle for December, because, you know, got to fit everything in before Christmas, it's only a 2-week cycle and then the Major itself. So the pros have roughly 10 days to get used to the new meta, and that you can understand the frustrations from some perspective, but maybe they will just keep doing the same thing before Major 1, and it definitely raises some serious questions, right? It's an exciting prospect, I think, for the fans, just to see, you know, XYZ team was really good with the M4, our team's going to get better or worse with the Scar. That's a big question that is still on the horizon as it stands. Quick note of this as well, I thought was interesting, because obviously when FaZe got taken down by Boston, and Arcitys may or may not have been happy to see that the team that he was dropped from was not doing so well, then they went on to beat Thieves regardless. But there might need to be some sort of, you know, like a no Doug, no dub, or no Zinni, no Willy type thing. I don't know what it's going to be for Arcitys. This is an interesting observation here by Lineman. No Alec small Phallic. I thought was just, it was so good that I had to mention it at least in one video. But yeah, I'm sure you guys can come up with some ideas. If whenever FaZe lose, then we need something to say. But very much enjoyed your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. If you guys want to watch another video, we've got a great one over at the Breaking Point site. Reminisce the glory days of the Simshot Warfare, the greatest Black Ops 4 Search and Destroy clutches. Like, this is an absolutely legendary one here. I'm pretty sure this is this was at Anaheim, because I remember watching this backstage, and it was like one of the craziest moments ever. So this is, if you guys aren't familiar with this story, there was a crazy circumstance before this event for Luminosity. This was Formal's team at the time. Gunners had like gone to some sort of EDM concert or something, and had turned up late. The team decided, we're not accepting that anymore. We're going to drop you from the team. Brought in their coach Ricky. So Ricky's like an OG competitive COD player, but he was their coach at the time, and he's still involved with the Los Angeles Guerrillas to this day. He subs in for this team. Game 5, round 11, 1 versus 2. Barely any time on the clock here, up against Royalty and Parzelion, actually it was. And this was Methodz team UIU. And yeah, Ricky gets one, gets shot, and then just shot punches the second guy for the win. And that's Methodz with the classic face. If you guys haven't seen this, you're obviously missing out. But yeah, this is Methodz face on the right hand side, and then Ricky just does the stone cold stare across the stage. I have no idea how that even happens, but yeah, that's just, man, what a moment. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.